Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, this is Lithium017 from my channel, Nintendo Collecting 101, bringing you tip number 51. This one's called Searching on eBay. I have 5 main things to talk about. There's a lot more things I could talk about in searching on eBay, but I'm just going to talk about 5 main things. The first thing is don't be too set on one specific item. I have said previously that you should stay focused when collecting, or else you're just going to stretch yourself out too much, you'll be too thin, money and with time. But I don't think when you're trying to find something, you should search for one thing specifically and just be dead set on buying it. So for example, I bought the Char's customized GameCube recently. I did get it in the box. Yes, I was looking for it, but what I was actually looking for on eBay a lot was just boxed GameCube, or Japanese boxed GameCube. When you're doing a search, if you were just looking for that one specific item, you might have your heart set on it a bit too much and be willing to spend too much money on it. But if I'm searching just for a boxed GameCube, then I could find any one of the ones I'm missing at a good deal. So if you're just looking for controllers or games or for Xbox or PlayStation or whatever it is you collect, definitely have a certain genre of things or a range of things that you're looking for, but don't be too dead set on buying one specific item at a time, or else you won't find a good deal, I think, or you rarely will. And this can obviously also apply to figurines or posters or things like that. I'm going to be a little bit lame, and I'm going to show you actually what I do on eBay for point number 2. So I'm going to put my camera down, and I'm going to show you what I actually do on eBay. And I know there's ways to record on a computer, I'm aware of that, but I want to show you some of my items too. So this is a bit of a primitive way with my hands, and you got the screen. So point number 2 is widen your search. Use wide searches. So I could search here, Char GameCube Japan. That's pretty darn specific. Nothing might come up. Let's see. Let's search it here. Char GameCube Japan. Go. So when this comes up, I found some stuff. I found one for $500, one for $100, one for $615, one for $721, and another one for way too much money. That's how much they all cost. The rest of them aren't that great. They're out of town. There is one up, and it's got 5 days left. It's $100, but it already has 15 bids. So this was a very, very specific search. And what I mean by widening your search, you could just search Japan GameCube. And when you search Japan GameCube, a lot more is going to come up. On the left-hand side, obviously, you have your different categories, and I'm just going to select video game consoles. And now I will get a different type of search, and I might not find any of those Char customized GameCubes because they might not be Japanese. But if the seller doesn't know what they have, they're not going to label it Char's customized GameCube. They're going to label it something else. So there might be a higher probability that I could actually find a great deal going this way. Sometimes at the bottom there's also this little button, search or see all matching items from international sellers. You could click on that one. So what I do is I try and search a lot of general terms and just try and find a lot of things. So for example, here's a Mario figurine. I could search Banpresto 5-inch Mario figurine, or you could just simply search, let's think, Mario figure, and that's it. And then what I literally do is I sift through a lot of them and try and find it. There's one right there for $6. So if you want this guy for $6, he's right there, and he's perfect, and he's awesome. So you want to use wide, general types of searches, and yes, you're going to get 7,000 different listings. That's a lot. But what I do is, and my eyes are trained, I will scroll through this down very quickly, and I will see what interests me very, very quickly. So for example, if I'm looking in a particular seller's stuff, I can scroll through it probably about this speed and actually see what I'm looking at really quickly, which is crazy, but you just train your eyes after a while to see what you're actually finding and what you want. So definitely use a wide search. But then after you have a really wide search, point number 3 is to narrow that search. So now that I just searched Mario figure, I have 7,000 entries. I can finally go into these different categories on the left, collectibles or toys and hobbies. And then also, I'll click on toys and hobbies for now. So now I'm down to 5,000. That's still crazy. There's 5,000 of them. But do I want to just look at buy it now, or do I just want to look at something that is auctions. So on the left-hand side, you can find that on eBay.com anyways. So I'll just do auctions. You almost always find a better deal in an auction if you're patient. So that, now we're down to 713. And then I'll also usually sort them. I'll sort the items either by ending soonest, or newly listed, or by price. I really like to go with auctions. I like to go to ending soonest sometimes just to see what's about to end, how much it is, can I find a deal, and usually you can. Like here, 3 Mario figures, shipping's $9. They cost $1 and no one's bid. So you get 3 of them for $10. It's a crazy good deal. So you definitely want to narrow your search, but start with a wide search and then bring it down. So then you could actually go on the left-hand side. I have action figures, so I can click on that one. Now it's a bit less. So you can keep going and narrowing your search, but start off with a really wide search. And I will actually sift through thousands of items sometimes. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Number 4 that I could talk about is don't just search on eBay.com or wherever your region is. If you're in Australia or UK, here's eBay.com. So let's go back to the main page. I also have opened ebay.ca, ebay.co.uk, and then the last one that I was trying to search in that wasn't going that great is ebay.com.au, which is Australia. I will search in all of them. I will search religiously. If I'm really desperate, I'm really into collecting, and I have some money to spend, I will search on all 4 of these and sometimes a few others every day. A lot. And in Australia, I might just search Nintendo Boxed. And that's it. I might just search Nintendo Boxed, wait for see how many items come up. And if it's a lot, that's great. I'll sift through them. I will spend my 10 minutes just sifting through them because I am that much of a loser. And if my fiance or friends aren't around, lame. I don't like the best match option. I never do. Newly listed is great. I think it's great to use, especially with Buy It Now. Buy It Now, you get the first things first, and you get the new ones, and you get a range of items. But right here, here's 2, or at least 1, but it looks like 2 different boxed Atomic Purple controllers for $75 from Japan. That's a relatively good deal. Crazy expensive, $145 Extreme Green. So I will use all 4 eBay searches, and the main thing that I've been doing actually that I really like is I'm on ebay.uk, but I'm Canadian. I will search NTSC SNES. So these are people in the UK who are selling North American Super Nintendo games. So you can do this in any region. So for example, here's a Star Wars game that looks like it's in incredible shape. It's $2.50, but that's euros. So it's roughly $3.75 Canadian, and it's ending in 13 hours and there's only 4 bids. A lot of the times people in Europe won't want to buy North American games. So if you're in North America, you could ask the seller, hey, ship it to me please. So that's a great idea too. Use multiple eBays and search for games from your region in that eBay. I know people are saying in Australia it's being crazy expensive, and it is. Australia, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's so expensive over there. All right, tip number 5, the last tip. When you finally find an item that you love, let's just say I'm looking at these Pokemon figures. Oh yes, I'm currently winning that auction. Crazy. Once you find a really cool item that you like from a seller, look at the other items from that seller. So where is that located? On the right-hand side, below where he's selling stuff, there's actually see other items, and you can click on that. Then I can look at the seller's other items if I'm interested in other things. Crazy, I know. So I'm going to search, where am I right now? ebay.ca, sure. I'm going to search Japan GameCube, sure. Go. Let's find something that we like. Oh yeah, sure. This is $15 for a Game Boy Advance, for a Game Boy player. Sometimes they call them Game Boy Advance players. I don't know why. This is from, I don't know what the seller's name is, but I look at the other items, and he's got tons. He's got so much other stuff. Always look at the seller's other item, because it might not come up in the search because they spelt it wrong, or because they might not know what they have, anything like that. Sometimes they just don't show up in searches, and it's strange. So that's really important. And if you really like the seller, you can save the seller. So you can click on their name, click on the seller's name, and then at the bottom, after their picture, it says add to favorite sellers. So keep track of your favorite sellers. I think that's really important. And I'm going to show you one more thing, actually. On my eBay, I have saved searches. So this is like a bonus tip, I guess. So I do have saved searches like box N64, box Nintendo controller, Fantastic N64, sealed N64, Super Nintendo RPG. So if we go to sealed N64, it will bring up immediately any of the items that are sealed for the N64. I already have a search saved. I don't even have to type it in again. How to get a saved search is to type in its phrase, to type in a term. So let's search GameCube new official so that I don't get all those fake items. And if you spell GameCube wrong, you might have problems, so maybe you should spell things right. Good job. Good job. Awesome. Alright, so there we go. GameCube new. There's not a bunch of stuff. There's 66 items. So I can just look at the accessories. And, okay, I really like this search. This is what I'm looking for. These kind of sealed controllers, these sealed items. So what you do is you go to Advanced on the top right-hand corner. And then below all this junk, it says save this search to my eBay. And you click search, and you click that little box. A box will come up. Email me daily when new items match my search. I don't want to be emailed daily, hundreds and hundreds of items, but I unclick that, and then I click save. And now if I go to my eBay, that search is there, and it's called, the brand new one I did, GameCube new official. When I click on that, the same search comes up, and when new items are posted, I can look for the new items. So I know this was a very long video, and I know my camera's just pointed at the screen, which is kind of annoying, but I wanted to show, what am I doing? How am I getting all this stuff? Where's all this stuff coming from? Well, when you search, generally, it really helps when you're not set on one item too much. When you use multiple eBays, that's very beneficial. When you save the sellers, or when you actually save your searches, when you look at the seller's different items, and when you actually do narrow down your search using the little, you can do auctions, or you can do buy it now, you can do by console, or by category. So you can expand your collection by being wise like this, and searching on eBay in a smart way. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like the video. Have a great day.